Hi all, good morning, and I'm very sorry for delay. Actually, I have requested for 6 p.m. IST. I'm not sure what your time is, but yes, we'll discuss on the timing later because my meeting starts like 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. IST timings, and then it goes on for 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, we'll discuss on that in the group chat after the class, maybe. Yeah. Okay. All right. So in our previous class, we have discussed about the manual sharing and how we were able to do the manual sharing. So in that, again, we have discussed if we need to share it to multiple users at a time, how we are going to do it. So yes, so through manual sharing, we can do, and the level of access is read only or read write. And hope everybody is clear on this assignment 36 and 37. Anybody
Dilip,
completed? Yeah.
I tried that thing, but the one thing happens is
Mm.
when I'm sharing the record with the managing user, like that manager user, so it's saying that we couldn't create the record share data for testing user, like manager user. You cannot define a new sharing rule that provides less access than a specific or organization by default. So I was checking to change those things.
Right. Did you change the OWD setting of account record to private first?
Yeah, it's in private. One second, it's in private. I guess yesterday I checked it, but it's happened. So I thought maybe it's wrong with some profiles, like groups.
No, first see if it is public read or public read only or public read write.
Mhm.
So by default, everything is available to everybody. All the account records are visible to everybody.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So usually we will have to change the OWD setting of that particular record, the account record to private. Then the default behavior comes in where it will be visible only to the record owner and his manager. So only these two people can see. Then you can start go ahead and share your records. Then the sharing concept comes in. So if you are going on leave, you have to share your work to your colleague. So in that case,
Mhm.
you are going to go ahead and click on make use of this sharing button and then share the records to this your colleague. Okay. So
Okay.
OWD should be private. Then only we will be able to do the sharing. Because if it's public read only or public read write, we are already
Mhm.
sharing everything with everybody. So
Okay.
there
I
is
will.
no need of sharing at all. Yeah.
Okay, I will try that.
Okay. And others, did you try the assignment? Actually, I did it twice. So since I was not able to do with the other users, so I created yesterday and I did it because it will be more clear for you. So anybody else did? Charan, Digvijay?
Dilip, hi. Morning.
Yep.
Actually,
So did you
I
happen?
couldn't. No, I couldn't get a chance because I was doing job and I came just now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have time. I'm gonna
Okay.
try it today.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Thanks. Yeah.
So just try it out, but if you get any doubts, I can clear, right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing. And again, if you do a hands-on, you will be remembering it a little longer time
Yeah.
than just listening in the class.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So yesterday we tried creating one public group that is my team, and we discussed about the public groups. So public groups are, a group which contains a set of users. So if I need to share a record to a group of users, so I have user 1 to user 400, and I have to share record to user 1, user 7, user 60, user 95, something like that. So I have 10 people. So I can create a public group by putting all these users whom I require, and then I create a public group. Then I share my record to this public group. So manual sharing we can do. Okay, so that demo we have done yesterday. Let me go to um, the org. Let me share 1 second. Okay, so I am trying to log in as team leader user. So this is another user in my org with the same level of access, and I have given the Salesforce license to this user. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another public group, and we are going to create, show the demo of creating a group of public groups as well. So that demo also I wanted to show you. Go to setup, public groups. And if you see the classes, everything we are doing almost like twice for your, clear understanding of the things. And I would request everybody to do the complete hands-on on the same day if possible. Half an hour is enough. Okay. So let's
Okay.
go create another public group. So I'm creating another public group, my old team. Okay. And I want to add users. So here I have previous users, right? So these are the users which I have created previously. So I'm creating my old team as a public group and adding them. But these users doesn't have proper licenses. We assign the charter licenses to them. So yeah, for the demo purpose, I'm using this particular public group. And click on save. So here is my second public group of which is saying my old team. Okay, so now let's try creating a public group, which is a group of groups. Okay. See, I am creating public group of groups with two of my already created public groups. Okay. And whenever, if I share any record with this particular public group, it is going to be shared with all the 4 users in the old team, 3 users in the new team, my team. Okay, my team. I have team member 1, 2, 3, and in my old team I have uh, development user, customer user, testing user, and yeah, so 4 of them. Okay, so all these 7 people, if I share any record to this particular public group, it is going to be shared to all these 7 people because this public group is a group of these 2 groups. Okay, so I just want to show that because we we have something called, we can create 1 or more public groups, and all the public groups information in the group object, and all group members information in group member object. And we can also create a group of groups also for the public group. Okay, so let's in our example of 10,000 employees, we have sales public group and service public group and marketing public group. But I wanted to create uh, a public group which is dealing mostly with the sales. Okay, So sales and marketing is the other public group which I wanted, because these people are completely dealing with the marketing strategies and the sales of the company. So I want to create another public group called sales and marketing group, which consists of sales public group and the marketing public group. And services like different stream. So it faces the customer, but once the customer comes in, and customer once the lead becomes a customer, then only it's like the service is going to start. Okay, so the service group is different, so I don't want to include that group. Okay, so that's why we can create a group of public groups also. So yes, uh, so this is all about public groups. And coming to our sharing mechanisms, so we have done creating, so if you need to share a record to multiple users, we tried creating public groups, adding them to the public group, and then we are sharing the record using the manual sharing. So now comes another sharing mechanism called automated sharing. Okay. So automated sharing is nothing but, uh, so instead of manually sharing the records, I want my Salesforce org to automatically share the records to a particular list of people. Okay. So in that case, I can go for automated sharing. So that is one case. So if you say the other case is like, uh, so I need to share it to, let's say, share. Here we were dealing only with one single record, but I wanted to share, let's say, 10 records, 10 of my account records to uh, to one or more person. Okay, one or more users. So in that case, I instead of going to each account record, click on sharing button and share. We have a concept called automated sharing. Okay, so we can share all the 10 account records at a time to one or more users, making use of automated sharing. So while sharing the records manually to the required users, it will take more time. So if I need to share it one by one, it will take more time. To avoid that, so we can make the process automated using the automated sharing with the help of the sharing rules. As we can see here, the sharing rules. So we can write down the sharing rules, and based on that rules, which records needs to be shared, which object records needs to be shared, we have to write the sharing rules on that particular object, and we can share our records at a time, at a stretch. Okay. So sharing rules are used to share records to required public groups or roles and subordinates, so dynamically at the runtime. Okay. So whenever you update a record, whenever you create a record, you the sharing rules gets automatically fired. So this runs dynamically at runtime, and it fires automatically whenever you update a record also. Okay. So sharing rules will get fired after insert, after update operations performed on our object. So we can create one or more sharing rules on each object. It's based on object. So all the sharing rules information, it's under the sharing settings. So we can find a section called sharing rules. But all the sharing rules information is segregated based on the objects. So for each object, it's a different sharing rule in order to differentiate between the sharing rules for objects. So the objects are also displayed. So under account sharing rules, we have a section like account sharing rules. Under that, we can create our sharing rules for account object. Okay, I'll show you. So based on this sharing rules are like provides. So Salesforce provides us like two types of sharing rules. One is owner-based sharing rule, and the other one is criteria-based sharing rules. Okay. So I think by the name you can understand the owner-based sharing rule is nothing but we can share the record to required users based on the record owner. Okay. So the record owner based means the record owner. So if the record owner is, say, myself, so then the sharing rule should fire. So based on that criteria, we can share. That's one type of sharing rules. So there is another type of sharing rules called criteria based sharing rules. So criteria based sharing rules means we can share the required records to the users based on some user defined conditions. Okay, so we can define some conditions. So let's say if rating equals to hot on the account object, so we can define a condition like if rating equals to hot, then we will have to fire this sharing rule. So like that we can give conditions, uh, use our own defined conditions for sharing. Okay, so this is called a criteria based sharing rule. So where we are going to find out this sharing rules, let me show you. Okay, so let's go to our Salesforce org, and we are on the setup page for our application. Here, search for sharing settings. And here we see organization by default. If you go a little down, scroll down, other visibility settings. See, here starts our sharing rules. Okay. So for each object, sharing rules can be defined. So lead sharing rules, account sharing rules, opportunity sharing rules, case sharing rules. So like this, we have the sharing rules section under sharing settings. So we can define our own sharing rules. So even our custom objects. I'm trying to look the custom objects. So our custom objects. See, after the standard objects, our custom object starts. Hiring manager sharing rules, positions sharing rules. Position is our custom object. Test is one test object which I have created, and candidate. So these are the custom objects which we have in our org, right? So these are the sections. So we can go ahead and click on new and create a sharing rule. So how sharing rule is going to work is like we are going to do a demo of how we are going to create. Okay, so right now we were doing the automated sharing with the help of sharing rules. And here also we have the level of access, that is read only and read write. Okay. And this sharing rules option is it's not available for single user. Okay. It is only available for public groups, roles and subordinates. Okay. For single user, if you want to share the record, sharing rules is not an option. Okay. So now a question for you to test your attentiveness. Okay. So how can I share a record with single user with the help of sharing rules? So if you would have understood the concept today and yesterday's class, you can answer. So I want to share the record using sharing rules to a single user. How can I do that?
Owner based.
Owner based also sharing rules. We have options like share it to public groups, roles, or roles and subordinates. Only that we have options. So how we are going to share? You can think of, so public groups. So we can share using the sharing rules only to public groups, roles, roles and subordinates. So roles cannot be single person because one role can be assigned to multiple people. Roles and subordinates, it's again a big group. The left one is public groups. Now, can you think of? Anyone? I wanted to share, uh, let's say 10 records using my sharing rules, but I want to share it to single user. How is it possible? Whereas my sharing rules uh, says I can share it only to public groups, roles and subordinates. Anybody can think of? We just did create a public group, right? Okay, so let me answer. Just create a public group with one user.
But can public group be of one user?
Yes, we can create.
Okay, here is a question. What is the difference between public group and a permission set?
Samant, you were not
Yeah.
in the previous classes,
Yes,
and
yes.
so you are going forward. So permission set we haven't discussed.
Okay. No, I'm
Okay.
generally asking because like I already have like
No, but
hands-on
if I
experience
answer you,
on
others will
admin.
get confused, right? Permission set,
Yeah,
they
okay.
didn't know.
Okay.
Okay, I saw you joined after 25 classes.
I
But
just
I
joined
didn't
last
mention.
week. I just joined
Yeah,
last week.
yeah.
So
Right.
I'm basically here for the development part. So I already have like
Okay.
hands-on experience on admin. So
All right,
that's why.
all right. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will
yeah.
disturb the flow and will confuse others. We will
Yeah, sure,
discuss
sure.
permission
Sorry.
sets
That's
and
why.
then
That's
we'll.
that's why. Okay. That's why I'm not,
Okay.
answering anything or just involving anything when you're teaching something.
No, you can involve, but maybe the topics which are completed on that you can ask the questions.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
that
only been here
everybody
like
can
for 3
understand.
classes, so
All right.
okay,
So
yeah.
see, the answer is if I need to make use of sharing rules and I want to share only to a single user, create a public group with a single user added on that public group. Okay. So that's the answer. So this is actually an interview question, I would say. So they may ask you, I wanted to share um my 10 records using sharing rules, but I want to share it to user XYZ, only one user XYZ. So how can you do it? So the answer is create a public group, add only one user in that public group. We are overcoming the thing, right? So single user, we cannot share using sharing rules, but we can share uh, using the sharing rules to a public group. So on the thing is, we are just adding one user in the public. Again, it's a not recommended thing, but yes, to answer this question, probably you can answer this way. Okay, so let's go to our notes. All right, so I assume you completed the assignments. If not, please complete today. Right, this public group, I'll ping you in the group chat for today. You create a public group, Hyderabad sales group by adding team member 1 and 2 users as group members. This is one task. It's simple task. Create an account record with team leader user and share the record to the Hyderabad sales group with read-only access. Okay. And then you will have to do the testing also, whether team member 1 and 2 are able to read this particular account record. That is one thing. And you will have to log in as team member 3 and see whether team member 3 was able to see the account record which you created. He should not be seen, right? Because he was not there in that group. So that's the two assignments. So I'll ping you in the group chat. Okay. So All right, automated sharing. While sharing the records manually to the required users, it will take time. So if we need to share multiple records, so we go ahead with automated sharing to avoid that problem. So automated sharing, how we are going to do automated sharing, making use of sharing rules. Sharing rules are used to share the record to required public. Yeah, this point is important. Public groups or roles and subordinates dynamically at a runtime. So these words are very important, dynamically. So these rules are going to fire each time you update, insert a record, okay, at the runtime. So that's very important. So sharing rules will get fired automatically after insert, update, record inside the object. So these are going to calculate. Yeah, we are going to do the demo clearly. And we can create one or more sharing rules on a single object. So as we can see, uh, for each object, sharing rules are listed. The sections are listed. So we can create either one sharing rule or multiple sharing rules, but we need to make sure that the sharing rules criteria or the conditions which you give are not conflicting with one another. Okay. So Salesforce provides two types of sharing rules, owner-based and criteria-based. Owner-based is the record owner. Based on the record owner who has created that record, we are going to do the sharing. Criteria-based is we are going to define some conditions, and based on that, we are going to share the records. So it's simple, okay? And the navigation we have seen. So go to the setup, sharing settings, and under that we can find the sections in the bottom, sharing rules. And for each object, we have this sharing rules section. So under sharing rules, we have to click on new and then create the sharing. Okay. So we have to give sharing rule name, label. Yeah, this checkbox is available. We'll talk about it while we are doing. And select the type. Yeah, we have to select owner based or criteria based and enter the, if it is criteria based, we have to enter the conditions and select the public group name which is available to which we need to share. Select the level of access, read only or read write, and then click on save. Yeah, and we are done writing a sharing rule for our object. Okay, so here is our assignment which we are going to do a demo. Okay, so create a sharing rule on the account object to share the record to Hyderabad sales group if the record meets the below conditions. So account rating should be hot, account industry should be manufacturing, account customer priority should be high, and active status as yes. Grant read write access to the group members. Okay, so I'm going to do for my scenario, my team is the group which I have created. So I created my old team also, but those people are having different licenses. So I need to log in and show the access also, right? So that's the reason I'm using this group. Okay, so let's go to our org. Okay, so in we are on our application and I logged in as team leader. Okay, team leader user. So this person also has the Salesforce license. So same level of access, which as system admin I have, same level of access he also has. Okay, I mean we have given the same level of license access as well as the profile access. Okay, go to setup and we are on the quick find box, sharing settings. Okay, go to the section. So we will be working on the account records. So account sharing rules. So go here and then click on new. So this is how our sharing rules screen looks like. Use sharing rules to make automatic exceptions to your organization wide sharing settings for defined users. Yeah, this why we are using the sharing rules, because we are trying to share records to a specific set of users, which is actually overriding our organization wide defaults. Okay, because we have to uh, do some exceptions for our case. So we cannot change OWD. So we have this sharing rules. Roles and subordinates include all users in a role and the roles below that role. Okay. This includes portal roles that may give access to users outside the organization. You can use sharing rules only to grant wider access to the data, not to restrict. Okay. See, I'm reading this because all these points are very important. Okay. So sharing rules are used to wider the access, but not to restrict access. Saman, hope this point gives you more clear picture for the question which you asked.
Even
Okay.
permission sets does the same thing, right? It doesn't restrict the access.
Yeah. Yeah, we will have
Yeah.
difference between these two things section. Yeah, when we
Okay.
discuss permission
Sure,
sets.
sure.
Okay. Okay. So account sharing rules. I wanted to give the label, description. So here you have to select the rule type based on record owner or based on criteria. Okay, I'm going with based on criteria. The guest user access based on criteria. This is a different set of thing where we make use of it when we integrate our Salesforce org with external third-party software or third-party share any kind of sites. Okay, so that is the criteria. That is where we have to use this, but we are not going to deal with it because in real time, actually, we will be dealing when there is an integration of our Salesforce or with the third-party tools. Okay, so based on criteria. So what is our criteria? Account rating is hot. Rating equals to hot. And second condition is industry is manufacturing. Industry equals to manufacturing, and customer priority is high. And then fourth condition is active status. Yes, the customer account is active. Okay, so these are the four conditions and all of them should this if you see, it's not or, it's and. All the four should be met, then this sharing rule will get fired. Okay, so with here you can see public groups, roles and subordinates, roles and internal and portable subordinates. Yeah, this again integration. Okay, integration concept. So roles and subordinates, public groups, roles. So yeah, I am going to go with public groups. In that, I'm going to select my team. And here you need to select what type of access you want to give. Okay. I want to go ahead and give a read write access. What's our assignment? Read write access. Read write access to my account records. And I don't want to give access to opportunity and case records. Okay. And click on save. And you can see the recalculation of sharing rules. Sharing access will continue in the background. You will receive an email notification upon completion. Okay, so the sharing rule, as soon as we create it, is going to fire. That is what it says. See, it's calculating the sharing rules. If we do refresh, probably it should be done. Okay. So let's test this functionality. So we have written a sharing rule, uh, okay, to the my team public group, and we have shared the records which are having hot rating and industry as manufacturing, customer priority as high. So first, what we will do is we will see whether there are some records meeting all these criteria or not. Okay. So I'm on my accounts. Let me filter. Okay, so we need hot rating. Okay, hot rating customers. Let me add more filters, more fields to be displayed here. What are fields we need? Active status we need it. And customer priority is the one, right? Active status, rating, industry, and customer priority. So industry, customer priority. So let me keep these four fields together so that I can compare whether I have that accounts or not. Okay. Rating, active, industry, and customer priority. So these are hot rating customers, and in that active customers we can see only few, and industry, manufacturing, we don't see any records. Okay. And customer priority high. Okay. So what we will do is we will create a new record. Okay. And see, so there are no records to check. So if there is one record, probably we could check whether that sharing is happening or not. Okay, now what we will do, we will create a new account record, which is meeting all these criteria. Account sharing rules, demo. Rating should be hot, right? And industry, we will select manufacturing. And active status. Okay, so we have selected all our criteria. Rating is hot and industry is
Dilip,
manufacturing. Yes,
you forgot to select customer type priority, I guess.
priority. Yeah, okay, sure, we'll select.
Down.
Yeah, that's why I was reviewing all 4 conditions whether we have
Yes.
customer priority is high. Okay, so all our 4 conditions. Rating is hot, industry manufacturing, customer priority high, active status, yes. So all these 4 criteria it is meeting. So as soon as we create, the sharing rule will automatically fire and share this particular record to our my team group. So let's see. So save. Okay, the record is created, and here you can go ahead and see to whom it is shared. So even though we are not doing manual sharing, we can see where it is shared. That thing we can see using the sharing button. Okay. So it is shared to myself, the logged in user, as well as a public group, my team. Okay. Right. Is it clear? Any questions? So let's do a kind of negative testing. What do you say?
Sure.
I'm going ahead and changing this particular record rating as warm and click on save. Okay, so now again, the sharing rules are going to be recalculated or refired. And then this sharing, how it shows, let's see. Go to sharing. And here you can see only one, that is myself. Okay, the record owner. Right, so like this, we can do a demo of so how the sharing rules are going to work. Again, I'm making it as hot. Again, it is going to fire. Again, it is going to share with the public group, my team public group. So to make, now we are sharing it, right? So make sure, let's log in as one of the team member and see that this account sharing rules demo record is visible to us or not. Okay, so that let us log in. I'm logging in as team member 1. Okay, or whatever you want. So this team member 1 is having the platform license. So that's why he will not be able to see the normal standard objects and custom objects, but whatever we share, he can see it. So go to accounts and let's see all accounts. So this manual sharing, yesterday we did it. Public group demo, yesterday we did it. And this is the one which we shared it using the sharing rules. Okay, so let's click on this. So we have shared it with read write access, right? Yes, so we shared it with read write access. So let's see whether I am able to edit. So read write means read and edit also, whether I am able to edit this record or not. We cannot do because we are on touching the uh, criteria. Okay, criteria on which this particular user has been shared with this record. So we cannot touch that field. Okay, so let's take phone number. Let's update a phone number. Yeah, anybody has any idea why it is giving me error? Did we share it with read write or read only?
For account, we did read write. For the rest
Read
objects,
write,
we did
correct?
yeah, private, yeah.
Okay, so let me update. Let's say we are updating the account number. Okay. Yeah, I guess we have. Okay, so there is some problem with the org. I am not sure why it is not showing. Okay, I logged in as team member 1. Let's see what happened to our sharing rule. Okay, account sharing rule demo. And let's see what happened to our sharing. So we didn't share it. Yeah, so what happened is, so we have given read write access to our public group. So I logged in as one of the user in that public group, that is team member 1. And then I shared, I have edited, since I have edit access, I have edited the rating as warm instead of hot. So this is touching the sharing rule criteria and it is recalculating the sharing rules. And that's where it has given me error. And then when I do a refresh, the whole account record was not appeared for me as a team member 1. Okay, so we can edit any fields if we give the edit access, but if we are touching that criteria which we have written it in our sharing rules, so it's going to refire. Okay, the sharing rule is going to refire, and then that particular team member one has lost access to this particular record. Okay, right. So that is what happened. Hope you understood, right? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Or any. Yes, right. So we are actually editing. We gave read write access. So we tried editing the criteria itself, and that's where the sharing rule has fired again, and it has completely removed the record access to that team member one user. So that's what happened. Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, this is all for today's class. We will and we have discussed about OWD setting, that is private, which is the first one, and then we will be discussing on public read write, public read write uh, transfer, public read only, public read write, public read write transfer. So these are the three other OWD settings which we'll be discussing in detail, and then we will be moving to another concept called queues in our next class. Okay, so we will be talking about the assignment rules transferring. So we while talking about more about the option called transfer. So we have uh, transfer assignment rules and transfer rules also. So lead assignment rules, case assignment rules, and then queues. So user to queue assignment, queue to user assignment, user to user assignment, queue to queue assignment, all the four combinations. So we are going to discuss all this in our next class. Okay, so this is all about today's class, and I will be pinging these two assignments in the group. Three, uh, two on creation of public groups, and one is creating a sharing rules. So all these three I would ask you to complete today, and I would ask you for this tomorrow. Try to find some half an hour time, and that is enough for completing these assignments. Please come completing these assignments on your Salesforce side. Okay. Yeah, that is all for today's class. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Dilip.